Mr. Schultz, it's good of you to show up, but then again, you've faced little choice. It's disappointing to me that it took such a long time and required the threat of a subpoena for you to appear before this committee. And it's frankly disrespectful to your hundreds of thousands of employees, but we do appreciate you finally appearing here.
There's literally no company in our competitive set of retail that offers higher value benefits than Starbucks in the United States. Today, baristas in our stores earn on average $17.50. Respectfully, that's more than the minimum wage of every senator that's represented a state on this committee.
Mr. Schultz, have you ever asked the Starbucks worker, quote, if you hate Starbucks so much, why don't you go work somewhere else?
In a meeting in Long Beach, a Starbucks partner was trying to interrupt the meeting and start talking about the union. I just turned to her and I said, if you don't like the company, if you hate the company, you could work somewhere else. It was not a threat.
I recognize at the outset there's some irony to a non-coffee drinking Mormon conservative defending a Democrat candidate for president. That being said, I also think it's somewhat rich that that you're being grilled by people who have never had the opportunity to create a single job.
It's bothering to me because, Mr. Chairman, you yourself have been very successful. Rightfully so. Glad you have been. You've been in office for 28 years, and you and your wife have immersed a wealth of over $8 million. But I take offense to the chairman pointing out that all CEOs are corrupt because they're millionaires. If you can be a millionaire, why can't Mr. Schultz and other CEOs be millionaires and be honest too?
Thank you.
Well, let me respond. The senator did mention my name, I think. And I think you got an all-time record here. You've made more misstatements in a shorter period of time than I have ever heard.
Please correct
Well,
me,
if I'm
because
worth
it's
$8
all
million,
public.
excuse me.
It's all public.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
If I'm worth $8 million, that's good news to me. I'm not aware of it. That's a lie. All right? Number two.
Part of public records.
You're probably looking at some phony right-wing internet stuff. It ain't true.
No,
All right? You should read beyond that. It is not true. Number
did you not
two,
make the statement
I
that
have
if you want to
the
be a
mic
millionaire?
now. I've got it.
Did you
had
not
your
make
time.
that statement?
You had your time.
Okay.
All right? You're not telling the truth. What this hearing is about is whether workers have the constitutional right to form a union.
Just 5 days after announcing our union drive, our regional director drove to our store from out of state and was working alongside my partners, attempting to make drinks. Partners suddenly started getting disciplined for minor dress code violations or being 5 or so minutes late. Every day, it felt as if there was a concerted effort to build a case against partners who showed even the smallest bit of support for the union. We won our vote 1 year ago today, March 29th, 2022. Since then, we've made every attempt to try to bargain in good faith with the company. Starbucks walked out on our store's only scheduled bargaining session after just 30 minutes. On May 3rd, the company announced that partners who were organizing or had already unionized would not receive a series of important benefit increases that non-union stores would be granted. My partners, along with thousands of partners across the country, still do not have access to these benefits, nor do we have a company that is willing to sit across the table with us and bargain for them. It's well past time for the company to bargain in good faith.
We were disciplined for minor things that happened in the store, like being written up for being 2 minutes late, which had never happened before. Terminations increased too. A partner who experienced sexual harassment from one of our managers was terminated after reporting it. Starbucks retaliation and union busting ramped up even more after we won our election. We were constantly being watched, and managers listened in on our conversations through our headsets.
We want to have these meetings. We've scheduled 85. We've been to 85. We've tried to schedule 365, and we're ready to do that.
And my understanding is that on multiple occasions after you schedule them, the company cancels them at the last minute. And I would suggest to you that that is not acceptable.
What I am not only asking you, I am urging you, is do not only the right thing, do what is legal. Sit down. Now, you've said you're prepared to sit down face to face. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Do it.